Hello everyone, welcome to Eunice English. I brought an article from New York Times published on June 19th. The title is No Rockstars, No Mercedes, a Russian expert shows the cost of divorce with the West. The annual economic forum in St. Petersburg used to yield multi-billion-dollar deals and future performance by global music stars. With the war in Ukraine still raging, the mood has shifted. During his earlier years in the Kremlin, President Vladimir Putin used the annual economic conference in St. Petersburg as a marquee event to showcase how Russia was becoming a magnet for Western business. Multi-billion-dollar oil and gas deals were signed, including the agreement to build the Nord Stream 2 pipeline between Russia and Germany. Western corporate giants such as BP, Chevron, Deutsche Bank, and Total sent their chief executives. In 2018, President Emmanuel Macron of France was the guest of honor. In 2011, Sting performed in front of the Winter Palace. But the event, which opened on Wednesday and will run through Saturday, now reflects a Russia fundamentally transformed by Mr. Putin's invasion of Ukraine in 2022. The Kingdom of Bahrain was the guest of honor, and the Chinese brand tank, not Mercedes, was selected as the official car. A delegation of Taliban roamed the giant exhibition center instead of executives from Morgan Stanley and Citibank. Only second-tier Russian pop and rock stars were on show, with no international acts appearing at all. And there was no Coca-Cola. It had been replaced by a Russian-made analog. The conference message is that Russia will never again be so reliant on business with the West. Despite the newly opened lines of communication between Mr. Putin and President Trump, major American investors once again shunned the event. The Russia-United States session, billed as dedicated to identifying shared interests and shaping long-term partnerships, was closed to the media and featured little-known crypto investor and former executive of a Russian state-owned petrochemicals company. Kirill Dmitriev, who has been acting as the Kremlin point man in negotiation with the White House, said in an interview that Russia cannot be dependent on the West, but that there should be some balance. Mr. Dmitriev noted that more than 70 American representatives were present, but that many didn't make their participation public because Biden made Russia look scary, referring to former President Joseph Biden. Mr. Dmitriev added that he expected real results of the renewed Russian-US dialogues would appear by the end of the year, on the assumptions that some progress over the Russian-Ukraine conflicts needs to be achieved first. It is likely that American energy companies would be first to come back to the Russian market, Mr. Dmitriev said. But some Russian business leaders on Wednesday said they would not be thrilled to see the return of American counterparts. Oleg Poroyev, Director General of Pikachusno Aitachka, a fast food chain that replaced McDonald's after it exited Russia in 2022, made it clear that he didn't want the global artists to come back. Some people believe that sanctions would get lifted one day and things will go back to what they were like before, he said at a panel on Wednesday. We don't believe that things will go back. They will be different. Instead of waiting for Western companies to return, Russian business must build something in Russia, he said. Ever since Mr. Trump and Mr. Trump spoke on the telephone in February, the first call between Russian and American leaders since the Ukraine invasion, many Russians have been expecting that some sanctions will soon be lifted and that Western companies will filter back. With only Chinese model and Russia-made radars widely available, some Russians have delayed buying a new car, experts said, expecting European or Japanese producers will restart deliveries. The ruble jumped against the dollar by almost 40% at the time of the Trump-Putin call, largely reflecting hope of sanction relief. So far, no sanctions have been lifted, and not a single Western company has returned. Maxim Reshetnikov, the economy minister, said on Thursday that Russia, which has surprised investors with its resilience to Western sanctions, was now on the brink of falling into a recession. While Russia has responded to Western efforts to isolate it by pivoting towards China and to a lesser extent towards India and the Arab monarchies of the Middle East, business leaders from those regions were largely absent from the conference too. President Prabowo Subianto of Indonesia was expected to take part in a session with Mr. Putin on Friday, highlighting Russia's growing ties with Southeast Asia. Saudi Arabia's Minister of Energy, Prince Abdulaziz bin Salman, appeared on Thursday. The agenda, which included events on issues as diverse as AI, education, and demography, was dominated by state companies, which had erected giant stands featuring multiple screens demonstrating a vision of Russia's futures with high-speed rail lines and modern highways. Even though the Kremlin has tried to divert the attention of the Russian public away from the war, the tentacles of the conflict still reach to the expo halls, where giant drones were on exhibition, while armored vehicles were parked in front of the press center. Vyacheslav Fedorashev, governor of the Samara region, south of Moscow, said, 10 years ago, we were gathering here to discuss how to attract foreign investments faster. Today, he noted, we discuss what additional measures we can implement to defend our technologies and our businesses. Alright, thank you so much for watching my video. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.